Hello everyone, Daryl Northern Vinyl Guy here, and I am doing a contest entry for Mike at MGK Boston, also sometimes known as MGK Buffalo, now that he's moved to the Buffalo area, and his wife Patty just made a video for a trillion subscriber contest. One of the criteria for this was to have somebody do the video with you. Unfortunately, my wife and my son are at hockey, and my youngest son is in bed, so I have no one to do this contest with. So unfortunately, I will only get one entry into this contest. But it's quite simple. If you live within, I think they said 50-mile radius of Buffalo, they are willing to send you one of their famous cheesecakes. Unfortunately, with my northern location, I will not be getting a cheesecake should I win this, unless you want to drive, say, 3,000 kilometers to the north and visit us up on the train. What do you think, Mike? You going to come up to Moosonee here, 3,000 miles away? We'll figure it out. But other than that, I am excited for this contest. Basically, 10 questions. It's that kind of that time of the year. I've been out with bringing my daughter back to college and things like that, plus the flu. This is my first video in a little while, so I figured I'd go in with a contest entry to start the new year off. So here we go, 10 questions. All of them, I was surprised that I was able to answer all of them. There was one I was a little worried about, and then I checked on Discogs, and yes, I do have quite a few, actually, of those in my collection, and I'll get to that when we get there. So question number one is, what is your favorite sports team? Well, I have two favorite sports. My first favorite sport, by a long shot, as much as I like hockey and being a Canadian, but my favorite sport of all time is soccer, or as they call it in the UK, Europe, and the rest of the world, football. And my favorite football team is a team from Greece, known as AEK or EK. And when I was in Greece last spring, I actually went into a store and I bought this hat, along with a jersey that was custom made for me with the Greek national goaltender's name on the back, done in Greek Cyrillics and the number 1. So every now and again, you'll see me wear a blue and white striped shirt with the Greek flag kind of on it. That represents that. So yes, soccer is my number 1 sport. EK is my favorite team. But my favorite Canadian sport, I'm going to need to do this just to put this on, is hockey. And my favorite team is the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know that Rob at Northern Revolutions is going to be rolling on the floor over this one because he can't stand this team. He's a Habs fan. But this one is an autographed jersey. I got this autographed last year. The Toronto Maple Leafs actually came up here to Moosonee. Not the Toronto Maple Leafs themselves, but their alumni team. I went with my 2 younger sons to meet and greet the alumni, and so there we have it. I believe that Curtis Joseph is on here somewhere. Anyway, famous goaltender from the Leafs and a few other teams, and some real good oldies on there. So Toronto Maple Leafs and EK are my 2 favorite sports teams. Question number 2, vacationing. Where do you like to vacation, or where do you like to go, or where would you like to go? Well, first and foremost, I have traveled the world a few times. I've gone to the United Kingdom, I've gone to Italy, I've gone to Greece. My favorite of those locations was Greece. Highly recommend going to Athens, checking out the food. It is amazing. Love the gyros, or heroes as they would call them, with chicken, or I'm not sure if I can have lamb. I've never really been checked for that. I know that when I was younger I had an allergic reaction, but we will go with Greece as my favorite place that I like to go. Where would I like to go? I would love to go to Ireland someday. I have made a promise to my wife that at some point when we can afford to go, we are going to go to Ireland. The motherland, at least for me, the 1820s Irish famine. I believe that's when my family immigrated to North America. So I would love to go there just to check it out. And not to mention, I'm going to leave it up to you to research this, but my last name is actually the same last name as the longest river in Ireland. So if you want to know what my last name is, I normally don't shout it out, but it is the longest river in Ireland, for those of you that want a fact. Question number 3. A solo artist everyone loves but you can't stand. All right, I'm going to actually combine this with question number 5 because I would be showing pretty much the same album for each of these. Excuse me. It's not that I can't stand this artist per se. I do have a couple of albums in my collection. This is going to be kind of a controversial pick. I just don't necessarily get it. I don't get him. I just find that he's got, he's got that country voice and, all things included. I can't play a guitar, but things, that I've watched, people that I've listened to say that, yes, he can play guitar, but it's not like pro guitar playing or anything like that. Very simple guitar. And that is Johnny Cash, Man in Black. I appreciate him. I appreciate what he has done. I appreciate that he covered, a Nine Inch Nails song. This is the Rock Island Line album. I also have his greatest hits album. It's not bad. I mean, it's not terrible. But I guess I just don't understand it. Maybe not necessarily that I can't stand him, but Johnny Cash. To cover both the country album as well as a solo artist that I just don't really like. Question number 4. A band everyone seems to love, but you can't stand. Well, this one might cause some controversy. That depends on if you like this genre of music or not. I know that Morton Astad is going to be, a little disappointed in me with this one. Maybe Rob, Northern Revolutions. And that is ABBA. I just don't get it. I've never really got the whole disco thing. I've never really got ABBA. I've never really got the movie that they did. Mamma Mia, I should say, is the one. That's what I was thinking of. I just don't get it. The musical. I have these. I found them cheap. Every now and again, I might listen to them, but I just don't like ABBA. All right. Number 5 was show a country album. Number 6, show a jazz album. Jazz is not something that I typically have in my collection. This is the one I was mentioning at the beginning. I wasn't even sure if I had them. But according to Discogs, apparently I have 70 albums in my collection that are jazz according to genre. Some of them, I guess it depends on the specific album, but I wouldn't classify the band or whatnot as jazzy. But this one I bought this past summer at a used goods store. It was a Mennonite used goods store, and it was on sale for $5. I actually had to input this one into Discogs, and that is Count Basie, Basieland. Now, it's not that the Basieland album wasn't in Discogs. The Canadian pressing, which is this one here on Verve, was not on Discogs. And so, Count Basie is kind of jazz, swing, big band, all that good stuff, and a pretty good album, so to speak. So, jazz isn't one of those things that I often pick up, but I thought that this was a pretty good deal for $5 at a used goods store, and it is near mint to mint condition. The cover was shiny and still in shrink when I got it. So, hey, you can't go wrong with that. All right, number 7, share a concert memory. Well, I have a few concert memories. I think the biggest one that I'm going to show is I did get to see a Canadian band called Spirit of the West. I think it was in 1997 or 1998. And they came up to my hometown. It was very, very rare that bands ever came up to my hometown. And I went to this concert, got an autograph poster. I don't have the poster anymore. I don't know whatever happened to it. It got lost, I think, when my parents moved from my hometown. But the thing that I remember about the concert is there was some goofball that decided to throw a pop can or a pop bottle up on the stage, and the band continued to play, but the lead singer went nuts on the guy and threw the pop bottle or pop can right back in his face, all in one shot. It was almost like nothing had even happened. Like, they didn't miss a beat. And then the bouncers came by and, yeah, booted him and his girlfriend or whatever it was out of the arena. And so that is my concert memory. Spirit of the West, you know, one of those typical Eastern Canadian bands, kind of the fiddle music and stuff like that. If you know the song And If Venice Is Sinking or Home for a Rest, that is what I am talking about. All right, a shout out to a newer channel. I'm going to leave this in the link below, but there is a young fellow. I've had the opportunity to actually have a show on Northern Revolutions with Rob with this young fellow. I think he's 16, out of the U.S., and that is Jack the Vinyl Guy. He is new this year to the VC, and he is just he's a really nice guy. Loves old music, loves new music, collects CDs, collects vinyls, or vinyl, not vinyls, vinyl. Loves it all. And so, yeah, I'm going to leave the link below. Check him out if you have not. Subscribe to his channel. Nice young fella, Jack the Vinyl Guy, down below. All right, show a Canadian artist. Well, I'm going to go with my favorite Canadian artist of all time, favorite band. It is not Rush. It is not the Tragically Hip, but I've shown this in videos before. I am a huge advocate, and I will advocate for this band as long as I'm alive. That is Glass Tiger. This is the Thin Red Line album. This has Someday. This has You're What I Look For. This has a Thin Red Line. Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. Vanishing Tribe. It's all on there. I also have their Christmas album. They have a, I believe it's a self-titled album. The only one I'm missing actually on vinyl is the, I'm running a blank on that one, but I'm missing, I think it's called Simple Life. Anyway, it's from the early 90s. I will leave a message here just to let you know what it is. Anyway, love Glass Tiger. There you go. And last but not least, happy birthday. Show an album from the year you were born. Well, I just made the late 70s as a birth. I'm born in May of 1979. And in 1979, one of the last albums that the Eagles released, I believe if I remember right, they had one in 1980. Before they did their big split, they had their big fight and all that. And that is the Eagles, The Long Run. This is a great album. I mean, I'm not a huge Eagles fan. I appreciate them. I don't mind Don Henley as a solo career, but this has The Long Run on it. I can't tell you why. It has Heartache Tonight is the other big one that is on there. I was trying to remember what it was. So there we go. Eagles, The Long Run. To end this off. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Once again, I apologize that I botched that Glass Tiger album that I am missing up. I will, like I said, I will post what it is on the screen as we get there. And yeah, I hope that that this did you good, Mike and Patty. If you were, once again, if you're interested in freezing the cheesecake, if you're able to get it here, or you want to come for a real long drive, feel free. This is my first video of 2025. Hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, though, take care, and we will see you on the next one. Have a good one, everyone.